Welcome back to Pokemon Explained, the series where we dive deep into topics from the Pokemon world. Today we'll be discussing one of the first teasers for the first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, that had fans speculating for years about what exactly was it and what could have been. So let's not waste any time and let's get into it, but before we discuss the truth regarding this teaser, let's go through what it actually contains. The teaser begins with three girls sitting on the grass staring at the clouds. The three of them are the Voyager, who appears in the movie, an older woman with orange hair who looks like Misty, and a little girl with pink hair. Then the third Pokemon ending theme, Fantasy in My Pocket, begins to play, which that continues throughout the entire teaser. And then following that, there are a few scenes that are shown that don't appear in the final film. These scenes include Ash and Pikachu running from fire, with the next scene showing Ash and Pikachu jumping in the water, with Ash of course holding on to Pikachu. And then there's a quick shot of Mewtwo shown, which actually also appears on the film's official website. Misty, Brock, and Psyduck running through a mountainous area, Pikachu flying on Pidgeotto, and Team Rocket appearing on a battleship. We then get a quick shot of the girls before we get a quick shot of Pikachu, then it goes back to a shot of the girls walking along together. We then see the pink-haired girl holding on to Pikachu before the teaser ends with the three of them once again sitting on the grass. The trailer is assumed to have played in theaters around early 1998, as at the end of the teaser, there's some text that reads, "Pokémonsters the movie refrains from using extreme scenes," referring to the Pokemon shock incident, which I will also do a video about eventually. But because of that, we can assume that it played in the immediate months following the Pokemon shock incident, but other than that, we don't really know too much else about this teaser other than that it exists. Now that we went through the teaser though, let's go through the theories and speculations surrounding it. It's been said that the Pokemon anime was originally supposed to last around a year and a half according to animator Masaki Iwane. So people have speculated that this movie was originally going to be the end of the anime, with this teaser showing an older Misty and a pink-haired girl who they believe to actually be Ash and Misty's daughter. But personally, I don't think that's what this trailer is supposed to be at all. I think the segments with the three girls are actually supposed to be a visual representation of the song that plays during the teaser, Fantasy in My Pocket. The song is sung by Sakiko Kobayashi and Jori Ayata, who also sing the movie's ending theme Together with the Wind. As mentioned before, the Voyager actually appears in the movie itself and is voiced by Kobayashi, so it represents her, and Ayata is represented by the pink-haired girl. Those are easily explainable, but what about the orange-haired girl? There's no real way to know who this really is supposed to be, because we don't know too much about this teaser, as is, but most people just assume that it's an older version of Misty, which is where the theory of that being the pink-haired girl being Ash and Misty's daughter comes from, and also the fact that there's a Pikachu there, and who else has a Pikachu? Ash does. For years, we never really got any official confirmation or any comment on this teaser of who that was actually supposed to be, until someone asked the director of the anime, Konehiko Yuyama, at Anime Expo 2019 during the Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution premiere. They asked about adult Misty being in the teaser and why it ended up being scrapped, with Yuyama replying that it isn't her, but she looks similar, so he can understand why someone would be confused regarding it. Some people have called into question if Yuyama understood the question or understood what the asker was referring to, but let's just assume that he did, because personally I think he probably did understand what he was asking. Despite that answer though, we still have no idea who this girl is actually supposed to be, but according to this, it doesn't seem to be Misty. Some people also think that this was supposed to be the end of the anime, like I mentioned earlier, but this doesn't really line up with what Iwane said. Iwane said, like I said earlier, the anime was meant to last around a year and a half, and of course, because the Pokemon shock incident happened, if this teaser had to have come out after that happened, the anime ended up continuing longer, so this wasn't even meant to be the finale back then. But even if the Pokemon shock incident never happened, a year and a half is around, it's not July, like where this movie was supposed to come out. It's actually around October-ish, around that range. That's around a year and a half, so yeah, so that doesn't really line up there either. To recap, I think this trailer is supposed to be a visual representation of the third Pokemon ending theme, Fantasy in My Pocket, which was being used in anime around that time. The song is sung by Sakiko Kobayashi and Jori Ayata, with the Voyager girl the Voyager, representing Kobayashi, and the pink-haired girl, representing Ayata. The identity of the orange-haired girl is unknown, but it doesn't seem to be Misty, and the Ash and Misty's daughter theory doesn't work because the anime wouldn't have wrapped up by then. That theory doesn't seem to be the case, but I definitely understand why someone will come to that conclusion because of how mysterious this teaser already is. We don't really know anything about it. We don't really know for sure where it even came from. I just assumed that it played in theaters around that time because, you know, it mentions like the little message about pocket monsters being safe, and of course that would only be implemented because of the Pokemon shock incident. So it had to have played around then, but where though, it's not really known. Like, some people say it came from a VHS, some people say it was played in theaters. Personally, I probably think it was played in theaters. I think so, but we don't know for sure. It's mysterious. And with that, I'll end the episode here. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Pokemon Explained. What are your thoughts on this teaser? You know, what is your crazy theories surrounding this teaser? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next one.